You've heard of the Trojan War, right? The giant wooden horse, epic battles, heroes like Achilles. But what if I told you that whole legendary war wasn't really about armies clashing or empires falling? Nope. At its heart, it was just one big, tragic, and unbelievably messy family feud. So you gotta ask yourself, how does a personal problem spiral so far out of control that it becomes a 10-year war involving gods and the greatest heroes of the age? Well, the answer is all tangled up in cursed family trees, terrible decisions, and a handful of very powerful, very emotional people. And it all starts with one single event that lit the fuse. Every huge conflict has a trigger, a flashpoint. For the Trojan War, that flashpoint wasn't a battle or a treaty, it was a person. A woman so beautiful and with such an incredible heritage that she was basically the biggest prize in the entire ancient world. So let's meet Helen of Sparta. And get this, she wasn't just some princess. The myths say her dad was Zeus himself, king of all the gods. So you combine that divine blood with being, the most beautiful woman on the planet, and she's in a league of her own. She's not just a queen, she is the status symbol. Marrying her is like winning the lottery of power and prestige. Now, this is absolutely key to understanding how this whole thing kicks off. Helen's stepdad, a clever king named Tyndareus, had a huge problem. Every powerful prince in Greece wanted to marry Helen, and he knew that whoever she picked, the losers would probably start a war. So he had a stroke of genius. He made every single one of them swear a sacred, unbreakable oath that they would all band together to defend whoever she chose as her husband. It was a brilliant plan to keep the peace, but oh, the irony. It ended up creating the very army that would later sail to Troy. Talk about unintended consequences. So who does she pick? Menelaus, the king of Sparta. But it gets even more interesting. Menelaus's brother is the even more powerful Agamemnon, king of Mycenae. And Agamemnon is already married to Helen's sister, Clytemnestra. So you've got two brothers married to two sisters. This isn't just a marriage, it's a political super-alliance locking together the two most powerful kingdoms in all of Greece. Okay, so let's dig into the Greek side, the attackers. Because the two brothers leading this whole expedition, Agamemnon and Menelaus, they weren't just regular kings. They were the latest generation in a family that was, and I am not exaggerating, cursed. We're talking a legacy just soaked in betrayal, murder, and divine punishment. And this isn't just some vague backstory. It's like a poison in their blood. It all started generations back with an ancestor who did something so horrible to the gods. I mean, serving them his own son for dinner? Yeah. That son gets brought back to life, but he just keeps the treachery going. And then his sons, the fathers of Agamemnon and Menelaus, take it to a whole new gruesome level. We are talking a horror show of a family feud. So this dark, violent, power-hungry legacy is exactly what's driving our two Greek commanders.
So you have these two brothers, but they are in this war for completely different reasons. For Menelaus, this is deeply personal. His wife was stolen, his home was dishonored. He wants Helen back, and he wants his reputation back. But for his big brother Agamemnon, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. He uses that oath, sure, but really it's an excuse to gather the biggest army ever seen, sail to Troy, and make himself the most powerful man in the world.
All right, let's cross the sea. As that massive Greek fleet is sailing, who are they heading for? They're heading for the incredible walled city of Troy. And at the heart of that city is another powerful royal family, one that's about to have a massive invasion force show up on its doorstep. Running the show in Troy are the elderly and well-respected King Priam and his wife, Queen Hecuba. Priam's a true patriarch who's overseen a long era of peace and prosperity. They have a huge family, tons of kids, but the fate of their entire civilization is really going to come down to the actions of just two of their sons. And just like on the Greek side, it all boils down to two brothers with very different personalities. First, you have Hector. He's the oldest, the crown prince, Troy's greatest warrior. He's a family man who fights because it's his duty to protect his people. He's the hero. And then you have his younger brother, Paris. Paris is the one whose impulsive, reckless decision to take Helen from Sparta is the reason 1,000 angry ships are on their way. He's the one who started all this. So why in the world did Paris do it? Well, it all goes back to this event called the Judgment of Paris. Long story short, he was forced to be the judge in a divine beauty contest between three goddesses. And instead of picking power or wisdom, he took a bribe from Aphrodite, the goddess of love. Her prize? The most beautiful mortal woman in the world, Helen. And with that one single choice, he pretty much sealed his city's doom. So, the families are set, the battle lines are drawn, and the stage is now ready for the greatest warriors of the age to finally clash. Their personal fights, their egos, and their fates are about to become the stuff of legend forever. And when you talk about warriors in this war, there is one name that eclipses all others: Achilles. Just like Helen, he's got divine blood, his mom is a sea goddess, he is an absolute weapon. The fastest, strongest, most skilled fighter alive. He's basically a demigod walking the earth. But his incredible strength is matched only by his incredible and very dangerous pride. And beyond Achilles, you've got this incredible cast of characters. You've got the brute force of Achilles for the Greeks going up against the noble heart of Hector for the Trojans. But it's not all muscle. You also have the brilliant mind of Odysseus, the strategist. And on the Trojan side, Aeneas, the ultimate survivor, whose story continues long after Troy falls.
10 years. Just let that sink in. That is how long this war dragged on. A full decade of fighting, all fueled by personal drama. Agamemnon's ambition, Menelaus' wounded honor, Hector's sense of duty, Paris's terrible mistake, and Achilles' out-of-control pride. It all came back to family.
Which leaves us with the one question that hangs over this entire story. In this epic family drama that exploded into a world war, how much control did any of them actually have? Were these kings and heroes really the masters of their own destiny? Or were they all just pieces being moved around on a giant cosmic chessboard by the gods?